Hello and welcome, beautiful people. This is Marco Narrates, where I read books, poetry, video game texts, movie lines, and more. Today's video comes as a request from a personal friend of mine, the poem Kubla Khan, sometimes subtitled Or a Vision in a Dream and a Fragment, by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Coleridge was an English poet of the late 18th and early 19th century, as well as one of the leaders of Romanticism, an artistic movement characterized by an emphasis on emotion and individualism, and a fascination with the daunting power of nature, to name a few facets. According to Coleridge, this poem was written after and based on an opium-influenced dream about a work he had been reading on the summer capital of China's Yuan dynasty, and is actually an incomplete work. He originally intended it to be 200 to 300 lines, but was interrupted by a person described as a man from Porlock as he was writing it, leaving us with only 54 lines to appreciate. Now sit back, relax, and maybe mentally prepare yourself for the dreamy imagery and metaphors to come. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alf, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So twice 5 miles of fertile ground, with walls and towers were girdled round, and there were gardens bright with sinuous rills, where blossomed many an incense-bearing tree, and here were forests ancient as hills, enfolding sunny spots of greenery. But oh, that deep romantic chasm which slanted down the green hill athwart a cedarn cover, a savage place, as holy and enchanted as ere beneath a waning moon was haunted by woman wailing for her demon lover. And from this chasm with ceaseless turmoil seething, as if this earth in fast thick pants were breathing, a mighty fountain momently was forced, amid whose swift half-intermittent burst huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail, or chaffy grain beneath the thresher's flail. And mid these dancing rocks, at once and ever, it flung up momently the sacred river. 5 miles meandering with a mazy motion, through wood and dale the sacred river ran, then reached the caverns measureless to man, and sank in tumult to a lifeless ocean. And mid this tumult Kubla Khan heard from far ancestral voices prophesying war. The shadow of the dome of Plesure floated midway on the waves, where was heard the mingled measure from the fountain and the caves. It was a miracle of rare device, a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice. A damsel with a dulcimer in a vision once I saw. It was an Abyssinian maid, and on her dulcimer she played, singing of Mount Abora. Could I revive within me her symphony and song, to such a deep delight 'twould win me, that with music, loud and long, I would build that dome in the air, that sunny dome, those caves of ice, and all who heard should see them there, and all should cry, beware, beware, his flashing eyes, his floating hair. Weave a circle round him thrice, and close your eyes with holy dread, for he on honeydew hath fed, and drunk the milk of paradise. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking it and subscribing to the channel to stay tuned for future uploads of similar content. Shout out to my friend Mike for suggesting this and having me listen to a reading of it by Benedict Cumberbatch. I also found a reading by Sir Ian McKellen, which was also a great one, and I recommend that you listen to both, because both men deliver with such unique and engaging diction. Links to both of those can be found in the description, along with a link to my reading of another poem, Unforgotten, by Laurence. If you have any poems or other literary works you'd like to hear narrated on this channel, be sure to let me know in the comments. And until next time, farewell.